The Flannan Isles, a remote and mysterious cluster of islands shrouded in mist and legend. These islands have long captured the imagination of sailors and storytellers alike. Far out in the ocean, rocky and windswept, the relentless waves crash against the jagged cliffs, creating a symphony of nature's raw power. The wind howls through the rugged landscape, a constant reminder of the untamed forces at play. These tiny islands in the big Atlantic Ocean show how powerful nature can be. The vast expanse of the Atlantic stretches out in all directions, a seemingly endless body of water that has both fascinated and terrified those who venture into its depths. Storms brew on the horizon, their dark clouds a forewarning of the tempestuous weather that can arise without warning. Here at the edge of the world is the Flannan Isles Lighthouse. Standing tall and resolute, it is a beacon of hope and safety in an otherwise perilous environment. The lighthouse, with its steadfast light, guides mariners through the treacherous waters, offering a glimmer of security amidst the chaos. It's a light of hope for ships sailing through dangerous waters. The beam cuts through the dense fog, a lifeline for those navigating the hazardous seas. Ships, large and small, rely on this guiding light to steer clear of the hidden dangers that lurk beneath the surface. A lonely guard against the storms, the lighthouse stands as a solitary sentinel, enduring the fury of the elements. It is a symbol of resilience, a testament to human ingenuity and determination in the face of nature's wrath. For hundreds of years, the ocean has taken many ships and lives. The history of these waters is marked by tragedy, with countless vessels succumbing to the unforgiving sea. Each shipwreck tells a story of bravery, loss, and the relentless power of the ocean. Lighthouses, like the one on Flannan Isle, were a little bit of safety in the dark. They provided a sense of security, a beacon of hope for those navigating the treacherous waters. The light from the lighthouse pierced the darkness, offering a guiding hand to those in need. They showed how strong people could be against nature. The lighthouse keepers, often isolated and facing extreme conditions, demonstrated remarkable fortitude and dedication. Their work was not just a job, but a calling, a commitment to safeguarding the lives of others. But these lighthouses have their own stories, stories of courage, endurance, and sometimes mystery. The journals and photographs left behind by the keepers offer a glimpse into their challenging lives, filled with both mundane tasks and extraordinary events. Stories of being alone, of hard times, and sometimes of people disappearing. The isolation and harsh conditions took their toll, leading to tales of loneliness and hardship. And in some cases, the mysterious disappearances of lighthouse keepers have added an eerie, almost supernatural element to the lore of these sentinels of the sea. December 1900, the month that would go down in history for the mysterious events that unfolded on a remote island in the North Atlantic. Winter was really cold in the North Atlantic. The winds howled and the waves crashed violently against the rocky shores. The sea was unforgiving and the weather was relentless, making life incredibly harsh for anyone who dared to brave its fury. On Flannan Isle, 3 lighthouse keepers were doing their job: Thomas Marshall, James Duckett, Donald MacArthur. These men were responsible for ensuring the safety of countless sailors by keeping the lighthouse operational, a task that required unwavering dedication and resilience. Their job to keep the light on. The light was a beacon of hope for ships navigating the treacherous waters. It was their duty to ensure that this beacon never faltered, no matter how severe the storm or how isolating the conditions, to help ships get through the dangerous waters. The lighthouse's beam was a guiding light, piercing through the darkness and the fog, providing a lifeline to sailors who relied on it to avoid the perilous rocks and shoals that lay hidden beneath the waves. Life on the island was tough, and they were very alone. The isolation was profound, with only the sound of the wind and the sea for company. The keepers had to be self-sufficient, relying on their skills and each other to survive the long, dark winter. But the keepers were used to being alone and the dangers of their job. They were seasoned veterans, accustomed to the solitude and the constant threat of the elements. Their camaraderie and shared sense of duty helped them endure the hardships they faced daily. They worked hard, keeping the light on, with only the wind and waves for company. Their dedication was unwavering, and their commitment to their duty was absolute. Night after night, they ensured that the light shone brightly, a testament to their perseverance and resolve. Until one day the light went out. The beacon that had been a constant presence in the night sky was suddenly extinguished, leaving the island shrouded in darkness and mystery. The sudden blackout was alarming, raising questions and concerns about the fate of the keepers, and the keepers were gone. The lighthouse was found empty, with no trace of Thomas Marshall, James Duckett, or Donald MacArthur. Their disappearance remains one of the most enduring mysteries of the sea, a haunting reminder of the unforgiving nature of the North Atlantic and the enigmatic fate that befell the keepers of Flannan Isle. Days turned into a week. The lights stayed off. People started to worry. A rescue ship, the Hesperus, finally got to the island on December 26th. It was strangely quiet. The keepers were gone. Inside the lighthouse, things were weird. The clock wasn't working. A chair was tipped over. Food was left on the table. The last writing in the logbook talked about a big storm, and then it just stopped. Where were the keepers? What happened to them? News about the missing keepers shocked everyone in Scotland and beyond. Search teams looked all over the island and the ocean around it. They looked everywhere. They checked every little thing. But the keepers were still missing. They looked hard, but they couldn't find any answers. People had lots of ideas, each one scarier than the last. Did a giant wave take them away? Was it an accident? Or did something worse happen on that lonely island? The best guess was that it was the ocean's fault. The North Atlantic is known for crazy weather and huge waves, waves big enough to swallow a person, waves that could crash over the island's cliffs, pulling people into the sea. The logbook talked about bad storms before the men disappeared. Could a giant wave have grabbed the keepers while they were working outside? The ocean knew the answer, but it wasn't telling. But some things didn't make sense. The air was thick with questions, and the fog seemed to mirror the uncertainty that hung over the lighthouse. It was a place meant to be a beacon of clarity, yet it was shrouded in mystery. The lighthouse, built to survive bad storms, wasn't really damaged. It stood tall and unyielding, a testament to its strength. But its undamaged state only deepened the mystery. How could such a fierce storm leave it unscathed while the keepers vanished? And why were some of the keepers' raincoats still hanging up while others were gone? The oilskins, usually a symbol of protection, now seemed to tell a story of abandonment. Did someone leave in haste, or were they taken by surprise? Did one of the men go out into the storm, leaving the others behind? The missing raincoats, the tipped-over chair, these were not just random occurrences. They hinted at a sequence of events that led to chaos. Was it a desperate attempt to seek help or something more sinister? The unfinished meal, these clues made it seem like there was a fight, or something strange happened suddenly. Did the keepers argue? The half-eaten food suggested an abrupt interruption. What could have caused them to leave in such a hurry? The dining table, once a place of camaraderie, now stood as a silent witness to the unfolding drama. Did one of them hurt the others? The shadowy figure and the tense atmosphere inside the lighthouse hinted at conflict. Was it a moment of madness or a premeditated act? The arguments, the tension, all pointed to a breakdown in trust. But who was the aggressor and who were the victims? Or was it just the craziness of a sudden storm? The violent storm at sea with waves crashing against the lighthouse could have driven anyone to the brink. Was it nature's fury that led to their disappearance, or was it human nature that unraveled in the face of adversity? The stormy weather with high winds added to the enigma, making it hard to discern the truth from the shadows of doubt. The people living on the islands, used to fighting the ocean, had their own ideas. Their old stories talked about mysterious creatures in the water, mermaids that tricked sailors, ghosts on the shores. Some whispered about a giant sea monster, a kraken, that lived near the islands. Could a monster have taken the keepers? Or were these stories just made up from being alone and scared of the ocean? The mystery of the Flannan Isles Lighthouse is still interesting to people. More than 100 years later, nobody knows what happened to the keepers. People still talk about different ideas, but nobody has the real answer. The missing keepers are part of ocean stories now, a scary reminder of how dangerous the sea can be. It shows us that even with all our technology, some secrets stay hidden. Today, the Flannan Isles Lighthouse works by itself. its light still helping ships. But the island is still a spooky place, its story connected to the missing keepers. People who visit the island feel a little scared knowing something mysterious happened there. The wind seems to whisper about the past, and the waves crashing on the rocks seem to know the secret of that December night. But the ocean, like always, stays silent. The mystery lives on.